So this is an oral airway.
Okay.
And then pretend like that's the ear. So try
What does it take to educate an effective physician? The components are many, but educators who are physicians themselves are essential.
There's a science to medicine, but there's also a significant degree of artistry.
Any elevation of troponin, no matter how slight, is associated with increased cardiac risk.
Artistry takes time, and it takes a lot of experience, and it takes an apprenticeship kind of model. You have to learn from people who are masterful clinicians.
And then taping it down.
Historically, the involvement of clinicians in the med school curriculum was to have students on rotations as third and fourth year students, and then to a lesser extent, classroom lectures on clinical management. With the new curriculum, there have been several goals, one of which has been earlier introduction of clinical experiences for students beginning in the first year.
Medical school, a lot of times, especially the first 2 years, is just endless hours of studying and your head buried in books. And sometimes you think, is this worth it? Why am I here? What am I doing?
Put your fingers behind the angle of the mandible.
Unlike students before them, first and second year students leave their classrooms and meet several times a year with an assigned physician. This longitudinal preceptor program has made a world of difference.
Getting to work with physicians outside of the classroom helps to remind me that I'm in medical school to become a doctor and not to just get really good at studying and memorizing facts.
Being a first-year medical student and putting on your white coat for the first time in front of a patient feels like you're an imposter and you're walking in not knowing what you're doing necessarily. The physicians really work you through it. They tell you what you did correctly and what you did wrong, and you move on. And ultimately, it's really empowering.
The doctors put pressure on me to pull the facts together from class, which helps me think more like a physician rather than just a student.
So if you got a regular tachycardia...
Coming into medical school, I thought there would be a massive professional wall or a totem pole, as they say, and we'd be underground. But I felt much more of a collegiality up here, and I felt like part of the team.
How about when you have like an irregular cut in terms of orientation? Do you just...
Physicians who teach with the students describe a rewarding two-way street.
As the demands of practice start to eat up some of your time, getting back to being with students, I think, brings us back to the core of why we went into medicine.
We were always taught to see one, do one, teach one. Teaching is a common cause that unites our medical community no matter where we practice.
I think in our careers, the two things that make us happy and fulfilled are curiosity and gratitude. And seeing their curiosity begin to kindle and then take flame was really something inspiring to watch.
tilt till you get the view. I'm a lifelong learner. You never stop learning because medicine and the technology is always changing. And having students around is always exciting because oftentimes they'll have a question and you never thought about it that way. Well, every experience is a learning experience for both of us.
When they ask you questions, it really makes you think about why we do and say what we do. They definitely keep you on your toes.
Physician involvement isn't restricted to the clinical setting. Savita Collins and Dave Van Ryn also serve as mentors, a more informal role.
My wife and I really enjoy mentoring. We get to know the students. We become friends. We're able to meet with them in informal settings so that they can share their thoughts and concerns with somebody who really isn't someone who can impact their grades.
It's interacting on a personal level and learning about the life of a physician even outside of the patient care realm. You know, what it is that makes different physicians tick. The students really feed on that.
Never in a million years did I think that I would have a support team outside of my family and friends. I've now adopted a new family that'll be able to keep in touch with.
The doctors donate so much of their free time. They come in and they work with us on different skills labs. They teach us how to use the ultrasound machines or draw blood, and they work with us on our history and physical presentations. The physicians I work with really care about the kind of doctor I'm going to end up becoming.